My 25 meters, keeps making whiny baby noises whenever I leave the bed first. Hey, this might sound ridiculous, and you might think, oh wow, what a problem, but honestly it's really annoying. So the thing is, my BF, 25 meters, and I, 23F, have been together for over a year, and we got our own apartment in September. I am an early bird, I usually wake up sooner and just jump out of bed, a habit I developed in high school. Whenever this happens and he wakes up, or at least senses that I left the bed, he makes these annoying whining noises after me, to signify that he wants me back in bed. It's really weird. He doesn't say a word, just whines like how I imagine a toddler would after their mum. I have talked about it with him, how it makes me feel weird that the first thing he does when he sees me in the morning is whine. But he didn't stop. Any advice? To him it's likely a way to express affection, although it is weird to you. Oddly enough, my husband and I do something like this to each other. Lol, we have since we have been together. I'd why, it's just our thing I guess. But the only difference is it doesn't bother us. It's a bit difficult to give proper advice because if it is his way of being affectionate and getting your attention and to cuddle in bed more, it can hurt his feelings, and sometimes when people do that they tend to shut down. However, your feelings are completely valid. It just rubs you the wrong way and there is nothing wrong with that. Honestly, if anyone other than my partner did this to me I'd be annoyed. You can phrase it jokingly at first, like I'll make you a deal. Stop with the little whiny noises that literally do not tell me what you want. Ask me to get back into bed and I'll be more than happy to cuddle up to my adorable man. Something like that can get him to hopefully start another tactic and will hopefully give you peace. If it doesn't work after a few times, you're more than okay to say I love you so much and Terry's so many cute things that you do, but for whatever reason when you make those noises when I get out of bed it bothers me. It isn't you that does but the noises. I'd cry but it just does. I'd really love it though if you actually told me you wanted me back in bed, or a quick hug and a kiss so I know your needs are being met as well. I'm all about not hurting people's feelings or making them self-conscious and making it so both partners get what they need. Hopefully you can guide him to stop this because Terry's nothing more annoying than something annoying. Lol, good luck. I used to have an ex that baby talked all the time, turned all his L's to R's, and lots of stupid W's. I'm a little lonely, meaning I'm a little lonely, and would put his head on my chest and I hated it. Not your mom dude, lol. He never stopped and he's probably still doing it till this day, lol, and the thought is nails on a chalkboard. Some people can't break dumb habits. I refused to reply to him if he talked like that. Refused. So that way he knew that these dumb little stuff isn't cute. It's awkward and weird. You can be blunt with him cause that might be the rubber band snap he needs to quit doing that weird baby toddler needs a titty shit. I'm the same way as you are and my girlfriend is similar to your boyfriend. She just grumbles, doesn't make weird whining noises though, except as a joke sometimes. I'll usually agree to get back into bed but with a time frame. 5 or 10 or 15 minutes depending on how much I need to get done or how bored of lying in bed I am. We get some extra cuddle time and I don't have to spend half my Saturday in bed. I've told you I don't like it and it makes me feel weird. It's unattractive and off-putting. Why are you still doing it? Wait for a reply. Let it be awkward. Proceeds to whine like a baby. My husband used to make a whiny noise when I would get out of bed. It's so crazy to see someone else post this! I talked to him about it once but he continued to do it. I finally bluntly said it was a huge turn off and asked him what made him think I'd want to get back into bed after that. Was it a tad rude of me? Probably. But he stopped doing it. Advice on breaking up with my 38M, unstable fiancé, 38F, in lockdown. Edit, thanks everyone for your support. I feel a lot better about the decision and much more empowered. I'm going to be okay. And so will she. Hey gang, I'm in a difficult situation with my fiancé. We love each other dearly, and I am extremely grateful to her for all that she's done for me, but we are just too unstable. It's a non-stop emotional roller coaster. 90% of the time things are wonderful, but the other 10% is unbearable. I've learned a lot over the years on how to control my emotions and manage my mental health, so I've become a lot less reactive, but even so it seems like we end up in a terrible conflict about once every week to 2 weeks, that results in sharp words and silent treatment for hours or even days. It used to be once every few days. It's so exhausting. I'm just done, y'all. Currently we're in a European country where she has citizenship rights and I don't, and my status is going to expire soon. We're at the point where the logical step in our relationship is to get married, but I just can't do it. Every cell in my body is warning me not to marry her. I want to break up and go back to my home country while I can still grab a flight. I'm saving up money to do this and I plan to do it in the next 6 to 8 weeks. Here's where this gets complicated. My fiancée is completely dependent on me financially. She has not worked in 2 years. She supports me in my work and around the house, but cannot seem to finish any projects on her own. She's been trying to build an e-commerce store, but it's moving at a snail's pace. I've tried helping her, but it gets nowhere. The resistance for her goes very deep and is linked to trauma and abuse, and I'm just not equipped to handle it. She's an actress but has given up on working due to embarrassment about her age. She has a lot of other skills, psychic readings and healings. Regardless of whether you believe in it, she's really very gifted at this, decorating, photography. But she doesn't seem to be motivated to turn them into something money earning. As for her own mental health issues, she is not actively seeking treatment or help or coaching or therapy. Again, I've tried. We went to couples therapy, but she doesn't seem to be capable of taking responsibility for her side of the conflict cycles. She does not have a support system in this country. She's not close with many people online either. We have made good friends with our neighbors and I'm sure they will check in on her, but I am hesitant to leave her alone in this country without means to support herself. She struggles with basic tasks like opening bank accounts and sending emails, because she is often overwhelmed emotionally. I came to the sober conclusion that I needed to break up with her 3 times, in the last year and a half. All 3 times she talked me out of it. She convinced me that I was having a mental health episode or that I was possessed by toxic masculinity, patriarchy energies that were not the truth of what my spirit wanted, etc. She laid guilt on me, saying that she would wither away and die and that I would then die of grief. She said nobody should abandon their partner in a foreign country in the middle of a pandemic. She said she had seen our children in dreams and that they were meant to be born, and I was killing them, etc. I see now that this was all simply manipulation driven by her fear of abandonment. This time, I know that I need to do it. But I'm scared, you guys. I know she will not take it well, but I can't bring myself to leave like a thief in the night. For that matter, it's not possible. I don't have a car that I can pack stuff into. We're in a rural area, so I'd need to book an airport taxi or call a friend in advance. So either way, there's going to be another long drawn-out nuclear war when I try to break up with her. I know that I need to stick to my guns. I don't know when to tell her of my decision and how to get out cleanly. I don't want to cause her more pain than I have to. I really do care about her. In my fantasy world, we'd walk through the woods and have a boat a day I fucked up ceremony where we release each other lovingly. But I don't see that happening. I also do not have the resources to support her indefinitely. I want to offer to her that I'll pay her rent and food expenses for 2 months, to give her time to figure out some way to support herself and or get to some place where she can stay rent-free for a while, or ask for some support from her sister who has helped her in the past. From where I am, this just feels really heartless and cruel, and I know that's what she'll say to me, but I just don't know what else to do. At some point she needs to take responsibility for herself, right? Phew. Felt good to express all this. Thanks for any advice you might have on navigating this. Too long didn't read. I'm pretty sure I want out of this relationship, but we're stuck in a country with little support network, and I'm very scared of the emotional meltdown that is inevitable to occur and seeking advice on how to get out safely. I think you already have a pretty good plan for most of it. I think if you can afford it, offering to float her for a set time frame will be both kind to her and allow you the peace of knowing you gave her time to right her ship. You can't make her use it wisely, so release yourself from worrying about that. If you don't think she would actively sabotage you, I would tell her now, to maximize her adjustment time. But that'll be rough on you. If you think she might take any actions to make things harder for you on a practical level, don't tell her until right before, and have as much as you can feasibly stage ready. Thanks. I am thinking to tell her a week beforehand, and go to a hotel at the airport if she makes it too difficult. She will not die. All the things she said to talk you out of leaving, killing your not conceived children, are crazy, manipulative and mean. You deserve better. You will never have another life. Don't ruin this one by entering a marriage that you know will be awful. And even more importantly, do not bring a child into it. I think your plan is fine. Leave and pay 2 months rent. Then block her from everything. She sounds manipulative and isn't taking responsibility for her actions at all. She needs to acknowledge that there is a problem in order for therapy or counseling to work. She needs to be open to the possibilities in order for change to occur. It sounds as though she is trying to guilt trip you into staying. Being future kids, you're possessed, you're a child murderer? Sounds a bit crazy to me. She's just scared of being alone and not finding someone as dedicated and as generous as you. Maybe she's afraid she won't find someone who will put up with her shit and pay her bills. You're a champ for staying, but honestly it would be best to leave. She should work on her stability before ever considering marrying or even having children, which is on the late side of the spectrum for her biologically speaking. You can find someone better who is mature and mentally aware. Also, you need to have your needs met as well. It isn't all about her, and a relationship is never about just one person. It sounds as though you prioritize her more than yourself, and in any relationship that's unhealthy. You're not being heartless by leaving. Paying 2 months for everything is more than enough. You're too nice, and she will take advantage of that if there is no end. She will take you for everything you have if you allow her to. She needs to be more self-sufficient, in and out. You're doing her and yourself a favor. You will be okay. You'll be happier once you aren't being used like you are right now. Oof, get why you feel guilty, but you are not her caretaker and she is a grown-up. We all have shit to deal with, but she has absolutely used her issues as emotional blackmail so she can leech off of you. I'd give she did so consciously, but she did it. You'd be amazed at what a person can accomplish when they need to. She has the ability to support herself, she just hasn't needed to be. See, she's been able to fall back on you. Without you as a crutch, she will either get her shit together or she won't. Either way, it's not on you. Completely agree. Make your plans and stick to them. The sooner you talk to her, the more time she'll have to try to make her own arrangements, but you must also consider your own needs. If I were on your shoes, I would try to have a place to go for a week or so after you have the initial talk, so both of you could have some space instead of delving straight away into the manipulative mode of hers. Also, when talking to her, don't say I want to break up with you, say I'm breaking up with you. Make it a fait accompli, a decision you've already made and not something she can change. 16F friend is being abused by 34 meters mentor. If I tell anyone, she will get kicked out of academy and have nowhere to go. Sorry if I make mistakes, I'm on mobile and English isn't the first language. I don't live in a western country. Me, 17 meters, and my friend /XL, 16F, go to academy that specializes in preparing us to join the military once we get out. I add in the X part because we dated for a bit, but around the time all of this started she broke up with me, but we remain good friends. We have a lot of combat classes and there was a point where Elle was struggling, so the school set her up with a mentor, a man who does not work for the school but with them. He is in the military and he began mentoring her 3 nights a week. As I've said, this is around the time she broke up with me. She said she needed to focus more on school and her training, which I understand and completely respect. However, it has become clear that her mentor, who is 34 years old, has begun to engage in an inappropriate relationship with her. On certain days we walk to class together, and when I go to her room he was leaving very early in the morning. He was angry that I saw him, and told me to keep my mouth shut. She is very secretive about the texts he sends her and will leave or stop whatever she is doing to go to him if he calls her, even if it is not training hours. She has marks and bruises on her that she says are from training, but she still tries to hide them and is secretive about them. If I go to a professor she will get kicked out of school for inappropriate relations, and he will just be kicked from the mentoring program but nothing else. She does not have anywhere to go or any support system if she gets kicked out, so I am in fear for her. But I think this mentor is abusive and taking advantage of her. I tried to talk to her about my fears, but she says I need to mind my own business and I can't get her kicked out of school. I think the only solution is for her to complain to the school he is not a good mentor and she needs a new one, but she will not even talk about this idea. I saw in the news Reddit in America figured out a way to trick the stock market. I have never been on this site before, but I hope you can also find a way to solve this problem. Thank you all. TL, Doctor, my friend is being hurt by her mentor. I don't know what to do next.